Greetings and salutations. Feeling into an edge that is coming through in this moment. As I was just sitting in meditation, just that kind of thought that was coming through, because I was shuffling the cards and my mind was kind of, moving all over the place, jumping all around, and one card flipped out and it was take time to reflect. And I didn't feel as though it was a card that was, like coming out for a reading. It was just like kind of telling me to pause in that moment and just like stop shuffling, sit with what's coming through, right? And so I sit, I close my eyes, and then I start calling in, calling in that guidance from my ancestors, my guardian angels. And then it was again this kind of indication to pause, right? And recognizing, one, that there isn't anyone that I need to call in because they're already all in, right? They're already present at all moments. Their guidance, their wisdom, they're always with me, right? Always just kind of, and then it was more so just feeling into the moment and feeling into what was present, feeling into, what was wanting to come through, and what it felt like, was kind of like grandparents energy, like I felt the presence of my grandparents. The first one whose face like came to my mind was my grandma, my dad's mom. And it was just kind of feeling into that energy of what's coming through, and just, with what I'm navigating now, with myself and my dad and our relationship, and working on reconnecting. I think over the last few years there've been just this kind of disconnection and a clear desire to reconnect, and just an uncertainty how to navigate that, right? How to kind of bring these two worlds together, because we used to be super close. And when I was more, I guess, maybe political minded, or focused, like, thought processes might have been different, might have been showing up different in so many different ways. We were a lot closer, we had a lot more in common, I guess, and that we were able to relate on, and that has shifted a lot over the years. And there's been kind of this, back and forth, push and pull, and just kind of just through that process of trying to come back together. And it was just kind of that kind of energy that was coming through in that moment. Just kind of sitting with it, with her face as it came up. And then it was like almost like the filling in of the other faces, my other grandparents. And then just that knowing that, this isn't necessarily like all of them coming through, or I don't know how to put it really, but the edge that I find coming up is in kind of sharing that, sharing that feeling that, I am connected to my grandparents, even though they have all passed on, and even though, people might have different feelings or thoughts or ideas about, what that connection might look like, or if that's even possible, or whatever judgments it is that come up. And I don't know, necessarily like the, not necessarily as a science, but I'm not necessarily going to be able to say that there's any specific way, or how anything happens. I can only trust what it is that comes through me, and For me, there's that recognition or belief that, you know, we're all connected, you know, and as people in our life that we care about transition, there are different aspects of them that remain with us, you know, and sometimes those aspects can surface and, you know, help us reflect on things and help us to recognize and to see things. You know, it's all a part of us. It's not necessarily something external that we are relying on, but it's that understanding that in our being, in our vessel, we are so much more than just this one self. You know, we are a culmination of all those that came before us. We're a culmination of all those that we have interacted with all beings, you know. There's so much moving around within us, and yeah. But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, so that's what came through when the card came out. Well, all of it didn't come through. It was just kind of the thought that started, and then I decided to record. And as a result, all of that which you just heard, if you have reached this part after listening to all of that to now get here, and yes, that, all of that. And I suppose this as well, because this would not come through had it not followed that. But yeah, that is all in this moment. One of my shares for today, I will still be going live. I might post this after I go live. I might post this now. But I am still intending on going live today. I'm not certain what time. I have my, I'm in a dreaming container with 3 other beautiful souls, and yeah, we are meeting online in a bit to do our dream mirroring exercise, which is such a powerful and potent container this has been. And just kind of looking at, you know, all the different spaces and containers and interactions that I've had over the course of the last year, you know, and coming in with the messengers container that I'm in, and just watching how everything kind of connects and expands on each other, you know, and just being grateful to be in a space where I'm able to be open, you know, open to recognizing the opportunities that are here for me, you know, to help me to grow, to help me to see myself more clearly, to allow myself to exist more in my full expression, you know. And just so grateful for all the beautiful people that I have been blessed to meet, you know, on this journey, that have helped support this process in so many ways, whether they know or don't, you know. Grateful for the family that I was born into, and also the larger family and community that I am growing into as well, you know. And I'm grateful for the abundance of support and love that is around me, you know, even through the pain, even through you know, all of the tension and the hurtful expression, you know. Through all of it, there's love there, and it's felt, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for sorry I'm grateful for, you know, all the ways that I am being pushed and stretched, and yeah, called to grow and to expand through all of the discomfort. But yeah, that is all in this moment. Sending so much love and gratitude. Peace.